There is, of course, as ever with everything in life, a million different ways to put up a den kit, and to put up a basher in particular. Now, we use these in the army, and often we'd use them right down on the floor, so they were very low to the ground, so the enemy couldn't see you. But in this case, I'm going to put it a little bit higher so you'll be able to see underneath. Put the ground sheet down because it's a bit of a damp day. But this is just one way of putting up a den kit shelter. This is the basher that in the previous video I put all of the paracord guy lines on it and hang them up. Taking the apex lines, unhanking them, and then put them between these two trees. They go about head height at the moment. So again, in terms of knots, I'm doing exactly the same knot as in the last video. A round turn, but this time I'm going right around the tree trunk and then 2 half hitches. I then get the other end and I'm attaching it to this tree here. Take up the slack there, round turn, over and through, over and through. There's various ways that I can peg this out. If there's other trees, if I'm in a forest, I can go straight off to another tree, but I'm not, I'm in my garden at the moment, and so I'm just going to peg it down to the ground. But because the guy lines are nice and long, that means that it can stretch out quite a long way. I'm looking for an angle of about 45 degrees, and by that I mean central to the end and the side of the tarp, so 45 degrees in this direction. So already quick and simple, I've managed to get that up, and that took 4 minutes maybe. You've got your heavy duty ground sheet here, which, because the grass is nice and wet, I want to put this down. Because it's a big old tarp, if I lie down and I'm 6'1" and my feet are not on the end, it's a full length tarp, which means that I'm completely covered all the way over, and it means that if I wanted to, I could sleep out here, and actually I could have 2 buddies either side of me quite happily. Maybe that one would be quite a slim buddy. The point of these kits, as far as I'm concerned, there was an article in The Guardian today about how smartphones were addictive and really detrimental to the mental health of young people all over the world. And this is part of a drive, and it's part of something that I believe in massively, to encourage kids to go outside and do what we used to do. I've led expeditions, youth development expeditions into the jungle for about 7 years, and the difference between the people that came at the beginning of an expedition and those that left the expedition is absolutely unmistakable. Different human beings, transformed by being in a group and being next to nature and working together, but most importantly, I think, being outdoors. This is it, Den Kit Company. Go to their website if you want to buy one for your kids or your nieces or your nephews or your mates' friends, or yourself if you're a big kid at heart.